Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what day trading opportunities there might be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you want to see those then please stick around. Let's start off here on the daily. What does the daily tell us? As you can see, yesterday Friday we closed out as a big bullish candle after the previous day was a bearish candle. So price reversed on itself, a bit of indecision I guess in the trend. On Friday, it initially looked like we was going to continue with a bearish trend. However, we closed out very bullish. Same on DXY, we closed as a bearish candle which swept buy side liquidity, of course. Now we have our previous daily highs and previous daily lows, as well as our previous weekly highs and previous weekly lows. You can see our previous daily high has already been swept and price is rejecting that, and our previous daily low on DXY has done the same. Onto the 4 hour, I would say the recent few days price action hasn't been fantastic. We're still within this bullish leg I identified. Price is still internal to that. However, what we can identify is that we've got our lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So we've got that possible bearish trend coming into effect internally to this leg. So this low here should be weak if we continue that way. We've today obviously swept this buy side liquidity here from previous high. We didn't break above that, and therefore we should be seeking out sell side liquidity. So that's an opportunity to continue with that possible new trend. You can see we had loads of SMC divergence last week, which was indicating EU strength, because we was making, lower highs on DXY, for example, with a lower low on EU. That means EU is sweeping sell side liquidity in order to sponsor a move up, which it did. And also with a lower high, it means there's some weakness in DXY. So now today we have more SMC liquidity. We have a high on EU and a high low on DXY, which indicates DXY strength because it's failed to come and make a lower low. And we've taken buy side liquidity to sponsor the weakness in EU to seek out sell side liquidity. Onto the 1 hour, where we can get a clearer picture of today's current price action. You can see the massive reaction we're having from this buy side liquidity sweep here with the SMC divergence. So you can see that that's working out well for the at least temporary bearish bias that we have. Right, we're being held at this 1 hour order block on DXY. We've swept internal sell side liquidity from Asia, and we're now having this big bullish run and this bearish run here on on EU, which is probably going to provide us an opportunity this morning on a Monday, which is great. We've got a 1 hour fair value gap here, and I believe there's a 4 hour fair value gap around this area as well to draw in price, especially at least into this area, as those are imbalances that tend to be filled for sell side liquidity. But ultimately price may be heading to make that new lower low and high, as it has on DXY here. On the 1 hour, we're actually closing with a high, and we have this bullish leg here. So let's go down to the M15 and look at what opportunities we have for today. So on the M15, we have this lovely reaction now from the buy side liquidity being swept, again with the SMC divergence, giving us clear signal for weak EU. We have this nice liquidity trend line here for sell side liquidity, at least until this area where our fair value gap is, which is nice down in the discount. So we can take profit around here or down here if we get in those sells. Of course, DXY is doing the same, which is great. It's swept that internal low, which is the Asia low, and is being held by this POI, and is also now creating a breaker structure high, right? Because we was doing this bullish order flow overnight into today. So now we can use this area here as a POI. So on the 5 or 15 minute, where we've got our break of structure, what I would like to see is price either close out below here, or on the M5 this would be the structure, and now we would be pulling back, hopefully correctively, to our POI to continue lower and target the discount or the order block or the lows, wherever your strategy tells you to target. So I'll be awaiting for this type of pullback. I'll be monitoring price. Hopefully it gives us a nice good bearish closeout, and we can expect a pullback to continue lower. Of course, there's always the danger, I guess, of price coming up, sweeping this high once more, and then breaking down, and then doing a similar pullback to go lower in price. But I think with the confidences we have with the SMC divergence and that buy side liquidity and such a strong reaction, you know, this high should hold. Of course, though, we're ready for if something like this were to happen, but everything seems aligned for us to go short on EU. For buys, I wouldn't be buying anywhere up here in this premium, especially after the buy side liquidity has been taken and the sell side liquidity has been taken on DXY, because you'd be trading against that. I would wait for price to come down to at least this POI or order block down here, so that we can see price come down, create a structure, possibly sweep its low for some sell side liquidity, and then we'd want to see a break of structure above for price to pull back and give us something to trade with. So that would be the only buy scenarios I'd be looking at. And obviously it could happen down here. If price were to come down here, we may sweep, do the same thing, right? May sweep again, break higher, pull back, and look for something like that. So that's the strategy, right? We've got our inducement here, we've got our pullback, we've got internal low sell side liquidity swept. So that would be the only time I'd be looking for buy scenarios. However, we look very set up to go short. So the shorts are my priority at the moment, and I'll be looking for this pullback here to continue going short, to take all this sell side liquidity trend line, hopefully, if it gives us the chance. So I hope you gained value from that. Anything that you may want to ask or be explained, please let me know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon.